So happy October, everyone. And I'm really excited today because I've had this project, and I've talked before about NDA projects and how you can do them, you can put your heart into them, and no one ever sees them, and it's kind of deflating. But today, with permission, I finally get to talk about this project that I did for MEGO Toys over 2 years ago. I sculpted these in March 2022, actually. And this is the unproduced line of 4-inch monster figures. I do a lot of head sculpts and I do a lot of accessory sculpts for MEGO, but part of what I also do is sort of what I would consider like special, special projects where it's stuff that's sort of outside of the realm of the toys MEGO normally makes. And I mean, you can see on my shelf behind me, that would include like the Ghostbusters line, the G.I. Joe line, the Pinocchio toy line they did. So stuff that doesn't really fall into like the standard release waves. And this was one of those. And what I loved about this line was that, I mean, I'm just a huge monster fan for my whole life, but also that when I was contacted to do this, they basically just told me make 3 monster toys, and it was sort of based on general archetypes, but there wasn't a lot of specific there wasn't a lot of micromanagement at all. It was just, make the designs, show them to us, let's see. And so it was just kind of like maybe do like a vampire, like a swamp creature, and a werewolf. And so I got to really sort of flex some creative muscle here. And it's cool getting to show these, but it's also bittersweet because I really feel like these would have been a great toy line. So I had a generic sort of, not generic, but so my take on a werewolf. And you can see here just a lot of the little detail put in there. These were really highly detailed figures, actually. They were 4 inches, and they have about 14 points of articulation, which would have been really, really cool, because as opposed to like a reaction figure, which has five points of articulation, this was 2 heels, 2 knees, hips, waist, shoulder joints, elbow joints, wrist joints, and head. So they'd have been highly articulated. Got kind of my take on a swamp creature from a Black Lagoon-esque character. Creature from a Black Lagoon is one of my favorites, so I kind of love anytime I'll get the chance to do anything sort of swampy. And kind of like a Nosferatu feeling-esque vampire. It's funny, like vampires are my MEGO curse. One of the very first, let me see if I even have it. I know I have permission to show this thing too. It's in my big box of heads down here. Let me see if one of the very first jobs I got at MEGO was doing a vampire head. And here's the hard copy of that. I'm allowed to show this too. This is going to be for their 12-inch line, but it also never got produced. So I guess, and I actually have one more vampire that I actually can't show. I just remembered that hasn't been made public. So this is my 3rd vampire with MEGO that hasn't been produced. But please tell me what you think. It's interesting. I put a photo of this hard copies in a MEGO group on Facebook. They got really good results. Maybe if enough people champion this line, they'll reconsider it. Why it got I don't even want to say it got canceled because it never really got going. This is about as far as it got going. There's painted samples as well. Those were sent around and showed to retailers. There just wasn't retail interest in it at the time, I was told, so they just didn't go forward with it. But I love these. I'm glad I can finally make them public. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And thanks for caring enough to pay attention to my little rant on this awesome yet unproduced monster toy line.